Guys, don't mind how strange I'm looking right now. Welcome back to another weekly vlog. I'm starting a weekly vlog today. It's Wednesday. Probably going to film it over the weekend. I've actually got a lot going on in this vlog. Tomorrow I'm going back to look at some houses again, and I think I'm going to bring you guys with me because I did actually go look at them last week. She full blown like let me in the show homes on my own, and I did not know that was a thing. And I didn't take my camera with me last week because I wasn't vlogging. I was not being like, oh god, I need a week of filming. It's so exhausting. But I just felt like people were maybe getting a little bit bored of the weekly vlog, so I just took a week off filming. But obviously I didn't have my camera with me, so we're doing that tomorrow. Today I've got training, quite a bit of work to do. I'm going to London for the day on Saturday. Good old mix in this vlog. It was meant to be miserable today, but again, I mean, I'm not complaining because I don't really want it to be miserable. It is so nice and sunny outside. I've just finished getting ready and now I'm going to take out my heatless rollers. I feel like I wasn't doing these consistently for a while. I remembered like maybe I shouldn't be using heat on my hair so much. So now I'm back to doing my heatless rollers again. Layer 1. I've been putting 3 in again, but I have 2 thicker ones. These ones, oh my god, my hair smells delicious. Oh, it smells so nice. I ran out of my living proof conditioner yesterday, so I had to use the L'Oreal. It's in like the peach coloured pot. I think it's the L'Oreal Elvive hair mask on it yesterday. I'm saying it like it's a bad thing. I do genuinely really like that face mask. But it just smells so nice. Okay, this is the second layer, which has got a knot in it somewhere. Second layer is a bit curlier. Okay, let's go, girls. Oh, how are we looking? Oh yeah, it's giving poodle. It goes so much curlier when I do the 3. Look at volume on that. I'm like, this is so... I look like a little lion right now. I kind of love how big it goes when I use 3. Just air wrap that and just straighten it out a little bit before I go to the gym. Yeah, this is my hair. Definitely about to go and ruin it at the gym, but I'm going to get dressed for the gym. And yeah, I am going to film my workout, but basically I filmed a full day of eating on Monday and I wanted to include a workout in it because I've got an entire new workout program. This week is my first week of doing it. I am so sore because I've got a new online coach. On Monday I took all my filming equipment with me, got to the gym and then realised that I didn't have a memory card. So I couldn't film the workout, so I said on Monday I will film another lower body day this week and just insert it there. So I think I will put like a couple clips of the workout in this vlog, but if you want the full workout it's in last week's upload, so make you aware of that. But I'm going to go and pick out a gym outfit. I think I'm actually going to wear the pink that I wore on Monday, the orchid. Okay, I have shortened this down a little just because in last week's video I did go over it with like multiple sets and very much in depth. But this was basically my first posterior chain sort of session in my new weekly training program from my new coach, which I'm honestly really enjoying. It's definitely a lot more volume than I am used to. I'm not sure if it's a lot more volume or just more movements, if that makes sense, because quite a lot of the stuff I'm only doing for 2 sets. So I'm starting off this session, it's very much hamstring focused, with doing some laying hamstring curls, and I've been over these a million and one times, but really trying to drive your hips down into the pad to try and avoid your bum coming high off the pad. I will say that towards the end of this I'm really clearly struggling with that. So yeah, don't do what I'm doing there. My hips are really shooting up off the pad. You want to keep them as like locked into the pad as you possibly can. I then did stiff legs and I worked out, well, I didn't work out, Twinkle Toes worked out. I kind of needed plates because otherwise it just felt very uncomfortable. So with the stiff leg, it's very similar to an RDL, but with an RDL you've got a bit more of a bend in your knee and it's going to hit more glutes and hamstrings, whereas with a stiff leg deadlift you're trying to keep your legs, I mean the glute is in the name, a lot more stiff, and it's very hamstring focused. And trust me, even though it doesn't look that different, you really do feel the difference when you're doing the movement between that and an RDL. And I've done that session twice now and it has been absolutely tearing up my hamstrings in a different way to RDLs. I thought RDLs were bad. No, stiff leg deadlifts are so much worse and I've not done them in so long. So I'm then moving on to some glute kickbacks, which I feel like, again,
I do these so often that I've gone over them so many times, but I really do feel like things like glute kickbacks and back extensions, or like the smaller movements, can sometimes be quite slept on because people will assume because it's such a small movement, or I just feel like anything that women do, it just gets a bad rep and people think like it's a shit movement. But when kickbacks are done correctly, they're a great movement. Yes, it's not going to give you like as many gains as like a lunge or a squat or an RDL or a hip thrust, but that doesn't mean that you shouldn't do them. Just because something might not give you like the maximum results, it doesn't mean that there's no place for them in your program. And it's actually a really great movement for being able to get more glute volume in through the week without absolutely battering your body, because it's not going to put anywhere near as much stress on your body, and it's also not going to stretch your muscles out as much, so it's not going to give you as much soreness, you're not going to get as much DOM, so you can get away with accruing more volume through adding those movements in. This is where I was like, oh my god, this session feels like it's never ending. So I then moved on to doing some B stance RDLs. So for these, you basically want to make sure that the toes of your supporting leg, which will also be working in the movement because it's split stance, it's not like completely unilateral, but the toes of that leg are basically wanting to be in line with the heel of your working leg. So in this scenario, my right leg, I want my left leg's toes to be in line with my right leg's heel, and you're basically going to split your stance, B stance, and perform as you would an RDL. If I was going to nitpick myself here, I would say I don't necessarily need to come down quite as far as I am, because it does reach a point where my hips stop moving back, and from that point onwards it's really all back. And I see a lot of people, like I've had it with clients, people online, complaining with back pain when it comes to doing single leg deadlifts or B stance RDLs, and I feel like a lot of the time it's because the usual form tips that you take from your standard RDLs, people tend to just like forget them, and they sort of go a little bit out of the window when you're doing single leg or B stance. So just remember, as soon as your hips aren't coming back any further, it is okay to stop the movement there and come back up, because it depends on obviously your flexibility, how your body is set up as well, like your mechanics and stuff. But ultimately, if your hips are not coming any further back, you're not getting a bigger stretch on the glutes, you're basically then doing all that movement from your back, and if your back is not strong enough to take it, it can give you a little bit of soreness in your lower back. So I'm definitely exceeding my range of motion a little bit, but honestly these felt really good, and I felt like I got a really decent stretch on my glutes when I was doing them. Then moving on to some Bulgarian split squats. I was only doing 2 sets here, which I was very thankful for, and they're very low rep. It's 2 sets of 5 to 7 reps, which I really like, to be honest. I've spoken about this a few times, but I think doing 2 sets of stuff is so underrated sometimes, because I find that if I know I'm only doing 2 sets of something, I'm more likely to pick up a more challenging weight. I'm more likely to push myself in those sets a little bit, because sometimes when you're doing 3-4 sets of absolutely everything, it almost puts you off wanting to go all out on your sets, or like really give them your all, because you're just thinking, Jesus Christ, like I've got another set of these after this. So it's honestly really nice. I've enjoyed that about programs I've done myself recently, but I am enjoying that about this program, even though I feel like I'm doing more in a session. I feel like there's more movements per session. There's quite a lot of stuff where I'm actually only doing 2 sets, which I do really appreciate, especially when it comes to split squats, because my goodness, especially after like the stiff legs and everything else that I'd done in this session, I was feeling it. So finishing off with another much smaller movement, I'm just doing some back extensions here. So I like to point my feet a little bit out, just because I do feel like it does help me with glute engagement a little bit. I put a little bit of a bend in my knee, but nothing crazy. And then I'm basically just focusing on imagining that someone has put a string in my bum hole and they are pulling me up by that string. That is the best cue I've ever given or known for back extensions, in order to make sure that you're not just thinking about bringing the weight up and down, you're thinking about your glutes being the muscle to pull you up and get you up in the movement. I'm now back from the gym. I promised I would show more food in vlog, so this is my post-workout lunch. Watch last week's vlog. Should probably update you actually in this vlog properly, but I am on like a new plan. I've got a coach now, so I did go over that in last week's vlog. Go and check it out, but I will give you like a brief synopsis at some point in this one. But I've just got chicken, potatoes, cucumber, and the M&S grilled Turkish olives, because they are the nicest ever. Like, they are absolutely unreal. So yeah, and it all took about 15 minutes I'm going to have this and a ginger beer. Watch some TikToks, I'm going to be honest. I'm not going to be doing any work whilst I have my lunch. But then I'm going to crack on with some client work and an Alpha Elite project that I'm working on, which I will actually show you because I can show you. Like, it's not anything to do with like product that's currently being made. It's about sweats. That leg session was insane. Really, really, really tough, but I really enjoyed it. And yeah, let's eat. Crazy. It's now a few hours later, it's 5:25, but I've just finished up doing the bit of Alpha Elite work that I wanted to do. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to talk you through it because it might be interesting to share. It might also not be interesting. Basically, they'd asked me about inspiration for sweats for fall. Or anyone comes at me about the colours not being like cute pastels and all that sort of stuff. It's for fall 2026. I did request pastel pinks, blues, yellows, like butter yellows and stuff in like really cute sweat sets for summer and spring next year. Hopefully they come to fruition. I did put that request in, but obviously when you are thinking of things seasonally, I'm not saying you can't wear baby pink or butter yellow through fall, but it makes sense to think about colours and stuff seasonally. So they basically asked me like any brands to keep an eye out for, but I've done a little bit extra because they basically only wanted ideas on like brands that they should look at or branding or colours and stuff like that. But that just didn't make any sense to me because I am very passionate about my sweats, and I feel like where Alpha Elite fail slightly with sweats is, I don't know if you've been buying from the brand for a long time, I feel like you'll have noticed they tend to do a sweat and then they won't do it again. Like they'll do it once and then they don't bring it back. Like there's no consistency to sweats. Like they don't have core sweats like they have core active, and I feel like it gets very confusing, like even for me working with them, and people are like, what was the fabric on this specific hoodie? Well, not anymore because most of them are sold out now, but there was a time where there was like 8 different black hoodies with different branding on the website, but they all had slightly different fabric, and it was just so confusing trying to explain things to customers or even trying to remember it. So I cannot imagine if you're actually thinking, am I going to spend £50 on this thing? You're probably just not going to bother because it's not easy. So I basically wanted to line out, like, I think they need to establish 3 core fabrics, a light one, a mid one, and a heavier one. Obviously those will be used seasonally, but like I know for certain parts of the US it doesn't, or certain parts of the world in general, it doesn't necessarily get cold or it doesn't necessarily get hot, but generally it might follow seasons. So they might do more lightweight in spring, summer, they might do more midweight in sort of like autumn, maybe spring as well, and then heavyweight through the winter. And obviously it's going to depend on preference as well. Like some people, regardless of where they live, don't like lightweight. Some people, regardless of where they live, don't like heavyweight. But I think having those like 3 fabrics like core and established, and then basically you can get the customers, you guys, more used to what they are buying. You know how things are going to fit, you know how the fabric's going to feel. It just comes down to a case of, do you like the graphic they've put on that? Do you like the branding they've put on that? Do you like the fit of that? Zips, pullovers, straight legs, cuff joggers. I started off with branding because I feel like branding is very ugly usually on the sweats. It's like when they've tried to do women's only stuff, it just doesn't make sense, or they just do weird stuff when it comes to women's only stuff, and it's like women don't want, like, some women do, but women generally, just because you're a woman, it doesn't mean you want this like massively girly, massively feminine sweat set. You might still want something that's quite cool looking or just easy to throw on. You want something fuss free. If they're doing logos, do them small, and if they want to do anything bigger, it needs to be like cool graphics, either like varsity style or even the logo that they just did on the core sweat shorts. I said that in my video. That would be so cute on joggers and hoodies, like small, keeping the branding more subtle when it's logos, going bigger for cool graphics or new things that they want to try, and maybe there's a graphic that's trending. So this is basically how I've gone about it when it comes to the branding. And then colours, again, please don't kill me, but this is for fall. It's fall inspo, so that's the reason why there's not like pastel shades and stuff on here. So yeah, heather greys, I've been very specific with this because every time we get a heather grey, it's so dark. Like I want like the vintagey sort of shades, not the dark ones, like the super light creamy ones. Neutral solids like rich chocolate browns, teddy browns, creams. And then for colours, I've gone with like rich fall jewel tones, so like your greens, your blackberries, your burgundies, your navies. I feel like it's really hard to find sweat sets in this like blackberry purple shade, so I really have put emphasis on that because I feel like burgundy is quite well done. I would still love to see them do it, but purples I don't see as much in sweat. Then I've gone over fits and styles, so making sure with bottoms they're not like limp, they've got structure around the hip, there's no massive crotch, it needs to be like a woman's specific fit. Pullovers like cocoon fit, so they have a nice fit, they're not limp looking, they're not straight looking, they're more of like a sort of bubble effect, and it just creates more of like a cozy vibe, especially for the winter pieces which might be a little bit heavier. Zip throughs, again, same fit notes as pullovers. Crew necks, I genuinely feel like this is where they should focus a little bit more. I've not said don't do crew necks. I have given some ideas for crew necks, but then I've just done a little bit of work on strategy for sweats and sort of lining that out. Like I mentioned about having those sort of like 3 fabrics, because it just feels like they do different sweats every year, or like every few months there's a new sweat and it's a different fabric blend, and they also just don't do like women's specific sweats, and every time they do them, they're just so fussy. They're not like basic easy to throw on pieces, and they're not pieces that I personally think ever look amazing. I'm going to upload this to Notion for them, and then I think I'm going to go for a walk because I really need to get steps in. It's now 20 to 5. I've really enjoyed doing it. I've just been able to yap about sweats for like 3 hours, so I can't complain. Morning! I'm just going to get ready, and I thought we would get ready together for the day. I'm sorry if you can see my nipple. That's very rude of me. I feel like people may ask. My Bambi pyjamas are from Primark, and these were really expensive. When I got to the till, I was like, excuse me? When I say expensive, I mean expensive for Primark. The top was £9. I was like, okay. The bottoms were 40. I went in the other week because I was looking for all these pyjamas that kept going viral on TikTok. And then it dawned on me, like, I don't like that style of pyjama, really. As I was looking at them, I was like, I don't actually know why I'm considering this. Like, I know that these are going to look awful after one wash. I went into town with my sister, Bradford City Centre as well. Again, a place I don't really dabble. I cannot remember the last time I went into Broadway to actually go into a shop. A crazy little place. So busy as well. But my sister wanted to go to Primark to get some, not maternity, like, specific bits, but more bits for her to wear because she's getting bigger. My sister's bump is going to be massive by the time she's done baking that little girl, because she's already got such, and by the way, this is not me like slagging my sister off or calling her fat or anything like that. I'm talking about the bum, but she's just got such a cute bump. Like, I did not think, because my sister has like a Kendall Jenner build. Like, my sister is so slim and slender and tall. She's like 5'8", I think. We all just assumed that she wouldn't probably get a massive bump. I assumed she might not even get like a really visible one until right at the end, but it's so cute. But yeah, she wanted to go into town at the weekend, so I went with her. I've got this like really weird thing about my sister at the moment, which, like, don't get me wrong, I've always loved doing stuff with my sister. If my sister wants to do anything at the moment, I'm like, I'll come with you. I'm really like craving sister bonding time. I've always been a little bit clingy when it comes to stuff like that, but I do go through phases where I'm not. London on Saturday together for the day. I'm going to watch The Great Gatsby. I really want to try the vanilla pudding place that's opened, which is like a rip-off of, I think it's called Magnolia Bakery in New York. My New Yorkians, am I wrong? Am I right? But it depends how busy it is, because we are going on a Saturday, and apparently they make like 2 puddings a day, and once it's gone, it's gone. So anytime I want to go anywhere that I've seen on TikTok, everyone in my family takes piss out of me. I went to Italy last year with my family. I did actually vlog it. We went to Tuscany and we went into Florence for the day, and I really wanted to get an affogato, but from that one place. If you know, you know. And it's so dumb as well, because there's so many places where you can go and get an affogato, but I was like, no, I really want to go there. Like, guys, this is somewhere I really want to go. Didn't make, but obviously we were all together, out of the kindness of their hearts, walked with me to this affogato place, and it took us probably like 30 minutes to walk there. Tell me why I got there, and the queue was literally wrapping around an entire, like, you wouldn't call it a block because they don't really have blocks, but let's just say the queue, if I'd have got in it, it would have taken like 2 hours. And my mum was like, you are getting in that queue, there is no way that we walk all this way. And then my sister was like, no, but mum, like, look at the queue, like, you think that's the queue, it goes all the way around. I was like, mum, like, I'm not getting in the queue. So I didn't queue, and it was a wasted trip. So now anytime I'm like, oh, I've seen this place on TikTok that I really want to go to, everyone's like, no, we're not going there. Hopefully we will go, but you'll see in this vlog because I'll be bringing you with me. But yeah, I'm just getting ready for the day. Today is a rest day. My god, I feel like I really need it. Like, everything is so sore today. I was gonna do cardio this morning, like early morning, but I woke up and I was like, I really just feel like my body needs a rest today. With it being week 1 of a new program, I mean, I would say it's definitely more volume than I'm used to. Not to the point where it's too much volume or it's junk volume or anything like that, but it definitely is more training volume than I am personally used to. So it's just taking a little bit of adapting in terms of that, but also whenever you start a new program with your fitness, with your training, you will
struggle those first couple sessions because it's a shock to your body basically. But last night I got into bed, did a little bit of client work, and then I watched Love is Blind. I also went and got I tried to get my steps in. I was walking for an hour, but because it was like hilly and stuff, I feel like when there's a hill it takes me longer to get my steps in. I ended up on about 8,000 steps yesterday, so I was a little low, but I'm just gonna go over today. I feel like Love is Blind this year has been really boring, Love is Blind UK. And don't get me wrong, I know that the purpose is for people to find love, but come on, we do like a little bit of drama, and I just feel like other than T-shirt with Jarvan, there's been no drama. There has literally been no drama. And okay, spoiler alert, like skip if you don't want to have Love is Blind spoiled, Love is Blind UK. Okay, fair warning done. I'm going to give spoilers now. Everyone other than Jed and Barda did actually get married. I genuinely thought Callan Sarova would not get married just because of how his family seemed, and I did not think Billy and Ashley would get married. I knew that she would say I do, but I didn't think that he would. But I'm really intrigued to see. I think the reunion's on Sunday. I'm really intrigued to see who's actually still together. But to be honest, I didn't think Jasmine and Bobby from last year would survive. That makes it sound so dramatic. Would stay together, but they actually have. So I know it sounds bad because you shouldn't want people to be like going off heartbroken and like crying and stuff. And the drama was actually people getting married, instead of the drama being people ditching people at the altar, which is obviously, you shouldn't want that to happen because it's not nice. It does make for more interesting TV. I've actually booked an appointment because I want to, I think I mentioned, I saw some new builds last week that I saw a few, but there was some that I really liked. Now, these are like the top end my budget for a house. It's definitely, when I say pushing it, I don't mean like pushing it in an unsafe, like that's actually way overweight. It's just really is the top end of my budget. And also my budget, I'll just be completely honest, my budget has changed since I started looking, because I started looking a year ago. So I've had another year of saving. But these houses are unreal, and the amount of space that you get for your money is also unreal. I have looked at houses in this sort of price region over like a little bit closer to me, significantly smaller. Now, if I'm going to be completely honest, they are actually, I definitely don't need a house that big, guys. I definitely don't need a house that big, but it's hard to justify spending that same amount of money on somewhere over here that's significantly smaller, where I feel like I would outgrow it quite quickly. So basically the reason why I'm like umming and ahhing about this one and I'm not like 100% is because, one, it's a little bit further away. So when I looked last time, it was actually like 4-5 p.m, so I got to see like the worst of the traffic, and it did take me a long time to get back home. And I am a home bird. Obviously my sister's having a baby. Like if there's ever an emergency, I would just hate to be, you know, if there's an emergency during the day, it's fine, half an hour away, but because of where it is, if there's an emergency around a rush hour time, it can take me like upwards of an hour and a half to get back over here. I think that's really the main thing, and also obviously the fact that it is the top end of my budget. Not that I think that everyone needs to think this way about their first home, but if I needed to stay in that house for like 20 years plus, and I know that not everyone goes into their first house thinking that way, but that's just like, that's not a requirement, if that makes sense, but it is something where I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. But they don't actually have any 3 beds left at this site, which is why I was looking at 4 beds, and the 4 beds are the same price as a 3 bed over nearer to me. So it is just the distance, and I know that half an hour isn't far. It's just the whole thing about like timings of day and stuff. To the saleswoman, she was really nice and honestly really helpful. And I was saying like I struggle when I'm talking to people about house situation, or like when I'm looking for somewhere, because I am in a very unique position where I do need to consider for the line of work that I'm in things like the lighting in my house, things like the space in my house, because yes, I am only one person, but I have so much stuff. I also work from home, and I do need to think about being able to film in there. I do need to think about lighting. It's basically like I'm trying to find a house and a studio in one. So there's like a lot of different things to consider. Also the fact that I am self-employed. Even people that aren't self-employed, she did actually make me feel a lot better, because she said that a lot of people are feeling the same way, which is, she was like, you know, you're not 21 and moving out into your first home, you're 26, gonna be turning 27. She was like, we're closer to 30 than we are 20, and she was like, we're getting a lot of people at this site that are coming and they're like 26, 27, 28. She was like, honestly, we're getting some like 23 and 24-year-old couples that are coming in, and they're going straight for like a 4-bed semi or a 4-bed detached, and they've just decided it's maybe not their forever home, but that's where they're going to stay for a significant chunk of time, because because 1, moving is very expensive. 2, moving is very difficult because as soon as you have a property, you are then technically going to be in a chain no matter what you do, which is then a lot harder when it comes to getting your second property. 3, when you get your second property in the UK, obviously depending on the price of it, but stamp duty becomes much more of a thing to consider, and that can honestly, depending on where you live, that can be like a deposit in itself, or like a good percentage of a deposit in itself. So obviously when you're a first time buyer, you get a discount on stamp duty, or if your property's under a certain amount, you don't pay it at all. She was like, we're actually seeing a lot of first time buyers taking more advantage of that, and because people are moving out later. I think because my family's a lot older, my brothers are 50, well, one of them's 50, one of them's nearly 50, my dad's nearly 80, my mum's in her 60s. They're used to this whole, like, you get your first house when you're 18, 19, you might buy like a 1-bed terraced house, then you move on to the next, then you move on to the next, then you move on to the next. But we're not living in that scenario anymore. Like, I'm not 18, 19. I also work from home. There's all these things to consider, and she's like, obviously people mean well with what they're saying, but there's a lot of factors that are very relatable to other people, because people aren't moving out or getting the first property in a lot of cases at such a young age. That doesn't mean obviously everyone's doing it, but she was like, you're not the only person that's in that mindset of like, let me actually just get somewhere where I could, if I needed to be there for years and years, see myself being there for years and years, because you're in the position to be able to do that. And I've said this before on YouTube when I've spoken about like housing stuff, but I genuinely feel for a lot of people the property ladder is just not really a thing anymore. And I'm not saying that to be like super negative, because we're all moving out a lot later than previous generations did. And even me, like, I'm going on like I'm moving out like super late. 26 is still quite young to be doing it in the current climate, so I'm very, very, very grateful for that. But times have changed a lot, and by the time that people are going to move out, they are going to need more space, or they might already have a kid, or they might be thinking of having kids imminently. Simply just the fact that moving, buying houses, everything is very fucking expensive, and it's also very, 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 very stressful. So people aren't going to want to, if you're not in the position where you have to, I don't understand the idea of buying somewhere that you don't really like, in an area that you don't really like, obviously unless you absolutely have to. But if you're not in the position to do so, I don't understand the encouragement of like, just get something to get your foot on the ladder. I feel like it made sense 10 years ago. Does it make sense anymore? I'm not entirely sure. It was really nice to talk to her about it, because obviously she actually speaks to a lot of first time buyers, like that is literally her job, and she was saying like, you're not crazy, like, and a lot of people are actually very in line with the way that you are approaching getting a house. I mean, my ideal scenario would be if I could just teleport this house to being like 10 minutes from my mum and dad's. I'm really not having a good makeup day today, guys. It's probably not showing up on camera, but I just look really, I feel like my cheeks look really muddy. Whew.
Twinkle Toes has picked me up and we have arrived at the Springs, which is in Leeds, which is actually near where the houses I was looking at is. Not like a ton here, but there's a lot of home stuff, and there's also a TK Maxx, which I found a really nice candle in. I think it was a jasmine and sandalwood one, and I didn't buy it last week, but I've been thinking about it all week, so I think I am going to buy it. Treat myself. It was only like $8.99. It wasn't like super expensive, but I'm trying not to impulse buy right now, and it seems to be working well. I've spent so much less money. So we're gonna go get a coffee, meander around the shops, and then the appointment's in like an hour and 15 minutes, but it is literally like a 2-minute drive. So weird weather today. It's like sunny but cloudy, but warm, but not super warm. I'm absolutely devastated. I should have bought the candle last week. They don't have it. They've got loads of fall candles. We're in TK Maxx. For my Americans, that's TJ Maxx. It was called Jasmine and Santal, or no, not Jasmine and Jasmine and Sandalwood. I can't find it. They don't have it. The pumpkin, everything smells like pumpkins and apple, which is nice, but it's very like strong.
It smells like Christmas, doesn't it?
Guys, I don't know why you're smiling. I found it. I found it. This is the one I wanted. It smells like a perfume. I'm so happy. I literally went, yes!
Just for the Americans, I love the fucking glasses in TK Maxx.
The glasses. They do have TK Maxx.
Do they?
Yeah. It's just called TJ Maxx.
So weird. I like these.
Fun fact, guys, I used to work at TK Maxx.
Oh shit, you did, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah,
I did.
Yeah, I bet. No, I like these.
I like formal spot. Guys, if you like the sour watermelon candy kittens, they've got massive bags. Even this big bag, it's only $8.99. Guys, we're here. We're in the show home. I'm going to show Twinkle Toes around, and I'm going to show you guys at the same time. So you come in. You've got a little bit of storage here. Yeah. Got a nice big hallway. The toilet is in here. It's massive. Everyone on TikTok was like, where's the utility? But you could easily put...
Yeah.
I know some people might be grossed out by that, but like my washing machine's always been in the downstairs toilet. Yeah. And then you come through here, and through here is where you have, excuse me, the kitchen. So it's like a galley style kitchen, but it's actually like there's width here, like it's spread eagle, you know.
Where are the? Oh no. Is the floor? Are they floor lights?
Yeah, those are extras. The show homes have all the extras, so
yeah.
You have to take it with a pinch of salt. And then there's a little space here where you can put a little dining table, and then through here you've got these doors, but these are an extra as well. Grittle doors, and then a nice sized normal living space. And then obviously the garden, but the garden didn't really, it's kind of irrelevant to be honest.
The garden needs no explanation.
Whoa, crazy. I really like how normal shape this living room is, which is really hard to come by when I've been looking at new builds. I've been twinkle toes, we're going up. Oh.
It feels illegal going from a new carpet with shoes on.
I know. Okay, then you come into here. This bathroom's massive in my opinion.
Yeah.
Mirror, sink, bog. And then this is one of the bedrooms. Again, plenty of room. It's quite like a wide room. It's not super deep, but it has a lot of width.
Yeah. You could style it however you want. You could put the bed the other way.
Yeah. Yeah. And then through here, there's another bedroom, which is again a really nice sized room. I feel like this room's a bit lighter as well because it's obviously got the two windows. And then you go up again, there's also some storage in there. You go up again because this one's over 3 floors. And then you've got storage in here.
Did you say if there's like space in the loft?
I don't know. Normally there isn't with new builds.
Yeah,
the way that they're building them, you can't get in there. But then we've got another bedroom. The higher you go, the lighter it gets. It's very nice and light in this bedroom. But yeah, this is nothing to do. Twinkle Toes was concerned that this was like with the room. I was like, no, it's literally just decoration.
Weird decoration though.
I know, but some people like stuff like that. I do think it looks a bit silly, but... And then over here, we've got the main bedroom, which is significantly a little bigger. Yeah, no, it is literally like a hotel room. And then in here, you have an ensuite, which is, honestly, this ensuite is bigger than most normal bathrooms that I've seen. So hopefully you can see this is definitely bigger than I need. It's a very big house, but I do really like it. It's definitely the nicest. It's the most spacious new build I've looked at. New builds in general can be quite small. Okay, we're in the other style house now. It's very similar layout, but they're just slightly different. So you've got the kitchen in here, which is wider. I was trying to work out, I couldn't remember if it was wider or it just looks wider because it's lighter, but it is wider. There's more space via each window. Well? No, I'm pretty sure the windows are the same size, but you've got more wall space either side. It is wider.
It's crazy how much difference the colours make, isn't it? How light
it all is. And then you've got a little dining area, nook thing. Are you paying attention to the TikTok that someone left about turning the lights off?
No.
There's under storage space under the stairs. And then there's a separate living room in this one, like it's completely separated. But again, it's a really nice size. It's fair. I like how they've decorated it. I know that some people don't like beige, but... And then that's the garden, but it's obviously very landscaped.
I'm feeling beigeful.
He's feeling beigeful. It's a nice sized room.
It is a very nice sized room. This would be midnight Christmas, like in this colour.
Yes, Diva. Oh, I didn't show you. There's also a downstairs toilet, but this one's a lot smaller. which I don't understand how they got around. Apparently the reason why new build downstairs toilets are so big is because of regulations. You have to be able to turn a wheelchair around in them, but they've somehow seemed to have gotten away with it with this one. So upstairs you've got 3 bedrooms on the 2nd floor, so this is obviously a lot smaller than any of the other ones, but it's like an office space, which to be fair I would be using 1 bedroom as an office space. And then bedroom, again very decent size double bedroom. This one's more like 3 doubles and storage, 3 doubles and a single. You've got another bedroom in here which is quite a bit smaller. I would say this one feels more like normal new build size rooms, but even then I do like how high the ceilings are because it makes it feel less cramped somehow. And then the bathroom, this is smaller, but to be honest I think the other one's massive. Oh, the cleaning windows. Yeah, this one is smaller, but I think the other one's just massive to be. Oh god. And then this one's just got a much more unique upstairs. So you come up and it's its own separate loft room, very nice. Window, nice and bright. It was really nice, but this one's more expensive than the other one because they've only got later plots available and it's out of budget sadly, but I do really like it. And the ensuite, which again is a really nice size, and I do like, because I've lived in an apartment, that is something that people aren't aware of when they're looking at houses that I am, because I've lived in an apartment, but I've looked at a few new builds where the bathroom has no window. Major red flag for me. Major red flag. I know they've got extractor fans, but it does not work the same as having a window in there, so yeah. So it's important in my opinion that bathrooms have windows, and all of these do, so. Morning. I did a vlog yesterday because yesterday I was just doing work. I was just getting tomorrow's, so last week's vlog ready. It was a full day of eating, so I was just editing that. And I had quite a bit of work to do, so I was like, one of those days where it's just going to be me saying I've got so much to do. And then putting the camera back down. Sorry, this is really annoying. I've started off the vlog and I'm putting lip balm on. Yeah, it's currently about 10 to 6 in the morning. I'm up and at 'em. I got up at 5. I did my heatless rollers last night, which just saves me so much time. It meant that I didn't need to get up super early. I also feel bad when I've got to get up and like wash my hair and stuff because mum and dad are still asleep and like they don't need to be up, so I always feel really bad doing that. But yeah, I'm waiting for my sister to come and get me because we're actually going to London for the day. She really wanted to go and watch The Great Gatsby, and I wouldn't say like I don't want to watch it. I kind of do, it does intrigue me, but I've not even seen the film, which I feel like is blasphemy, but genuinely, I've not even seen the film. Hopefully I like gather the plot quickly. But yeah, she really wanted to go, and she texted me the other week and she's like, oh, I think I might go to London for the day on my own unless you want to come. I was like, I'll come with you. I don't know why, but I'm like, I'm pregnant. You need someone with you. I don't know, the thought of my sister being on her own in London at the moment scares me a bit, so anyway, I'm going with her. We're gonna just have a nice sister day. I think she's gonna come pick me up with a Costa, so I'll try and film some little bits today, but we are very much having a sister day, so it's not, I'm not going for like vlogging purposes. I am going because my sister really wants to go, so I'll film what I can. But yeah, a little bit of a different Saturday. We get the train at 6:30 from Bradford, and then we get back at about 10:30. If you live like in Bradford or Leeds, obviously it is expensive, but if you go down early, you can get like a really decent day in London. Obviously you won't have time to do everything, but if you ever fancied like a change of scenery, or like even a change of scenery for shopping, save up a little bit of money for the train fare and you can definitely go down and back in one day, because I think the thing that puts a lot of people off is hotel costs, because hotels are really expensive in London. Even like a not nice one is like 4 times the price of one in Manchester. Like I stayed in Manchester for one night last year and I swear it was so cheap. I would not have been able to find a hotel that nice, that cheap down south. So I think that's what puts people off, because then once you start doing that, it starts adding up and it does get quite expensive. But if you're not staying over, it's actually really good. I've done it like probably like 3 or 4 times now where I've just gone down for the day and I really like doing it. So yeah, going to London with my sister. I've just packed my bag up for the day. I've got my phone charger, hair clip, lip balm, perfume. But anyway, I will see you when we're on the way or when we're in London. So we're here, Fringe is fringing. We've come to Blank Street. I've got the pistachio one. Oh wait, this is not good. It's got pistachio spread. It tastes like a nutty white chocolate. Get a grip. Okay guys, we've come to the vanilla place for the banana pudding. There is a little bit of a queue, but we're in it.
I'll bring the ice cream downstairs.
Guys, we've got the goods. We both got a classic. I got mine with strawberries, and Catherine, oh god, I look like Paul McCartney. Catherine got hers with nothing, just plain. They said the one with scribbles on is the one with strawberries in.
God, that feels quite heavy.
This is what it looks like. Oh, it's coming out the side.
I know. Put it all over me.
That's what it looks like. It does look really good, to be fair.
Right, you can't hold any toppings.
I know, but then I was
last
looking at
minute
the
you changed
strawberries
mine
and I
and I was
thought,
like, oh.
well, if you want to try a bit with strawberry, you can. But they did have different toppings. You could even get matcha powder on top, but I just think it's a bit weird. Okay, let's go.
Okay, that's really nice.
Oh, it is good. And it is quite white, actually.
Oh, yeah, it is too.
I don't know, but it does have real banana in as well. So it's got like the strawberry, obviously, the cream, and the banana. And then sponge.
That is really good.
I was scared it was going to be really artificial, but it's actually,
No, it tastes really fresh.
it tastes like a banana. I think the strawberries was a good shout. I just saw someone getting chased by security. Dying to know what happened there.
There's actually more in this tub than I thought there would be.
Yeah. We just worked it out. It's 8 minutes past. We got in the queue. We just worked it out because the woman in front, between two of them, they ordered 7, and it's £6.50 a tub. We've probably taken like £300 within 10 minutes. It's crazy. The average order was probably like £12 per person. But yeah, when we got here, nothing was open. We came here too early. We got here at 9.
No, not too early.
It was really nice actually. Like the difference from then until now, I should have showed you guys earlier, it was so quiet. If you come into London, go out at 9 before the shops open, it's so quiet. I finished an entire tub of the banana one within 10 minutes. It was gone. I don't think that'll last until 3:30 today. I think they'll be out by 12.
Was this the first Saturday?
Yeah, they've only been open since Monday. I did find a really nice outfit in Reformation, guys, but it's Reformation, so
You're not going to go back and buy it?
hey, I don't know. She's a bad influence. I'm meant to be saving money. I'm getting quite bloody hell. This little baby's a beast. I was just going to say I'm getting quite full. I looked over and she's nearly finished. I've got half left. Okay, I'm going to put my camera away before someone runs past and steals it. To Reformation, and this is the top that I really like, but I don't know how I feel about it once it's on. I've got it on the skirt. But the skirt's getting big, so I need to get pulled in. It's very soft. The changing rooms in here though. Morning guys, we're on a new week and it's actually the 1st of September, which I love. I love that
the first of a month, and the 1st of September as well, because I feel like that is kind of like not the start of winter, because I feel like we get nice weather, like decent weather sometimes in the UK through to like mid-October. I've definitely recall Octobers where I've been out in like jeans and a vest and been warm. I feel like it is the start of the colder months, and it's also the start of things just feeling a lot harder. The days are going to start getting shorter, and I know that everyone's like, yay, autumn, like fall. Like, I feel like people have been wishing summer away, which is fine, I get it, because if winter is your favourite season, that's what you're going to do. I am a summer baby through and through. The only thing I do love about autumn winter is obviously the coziness, but I do also prefer the fashion for autumn winter. I feel like for summer, if I constantly lived like in a beachy location, that's my favourite like wardrobe of myself. I love my holiday outfit. You don't wear that sort of stuff in the UK, so I always feel like in summer I don't know what to wear, and I just end up wearing jeans and a tank top, which is fine. I think with autumn winter, like big coats, jumpers, tracksuits, and big tracksuit girly, I feel like I do prefer the autumn winter fashion, so I'm excited for that. I'm trying to think about things I am excited for rather than thinking about all the things that I hate. But please know, if you are watching this and you are finding everyone celebrating it being colder again, the days getting shorter, winter being around the corner, I get it if you're not vibing with that, because it's not my personal cup of tea either. And I feel like all through August people were like, it's fall. I'm like, it's August, it's the height of summer. But yeah, it's also very classic, not wintry day, but it's just very grey, and I think it's just started raining. I was going to say it looks like it's going to tee it down, but it's just started raining. Yesterday I didn't film anything because yesterday I was just having a massive sort my life out day. Got 4 new coaching clients starting today, which is so exciting. 3 of them I've actually trained before, but a very long time ago, like a long time ago, and it always blows my mind when people come back to me after that long. But I would assume that like if it's been that long, they might have like forgotten about me. So the fact that people come back, I'm like, oh my god, it's been so long and I'm still the choice. I'm very flattered. So I have those ladies starting today, so I was finalising their setups yesterday. Had a massive tidy of my room. I got some more IKEA storage boxes for my activewear because I'd finally reached a point last week where I'd ran out of room. I couldn't even put the most recent Alpha Elite launch away because I had nowhere to put it. So I've got more storage boxes now, so I was able to do that, and it's so nice having a tidy room. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie and pretend I'm like the tidiest person in the world, because I'm definitely not. Like, more of like a clean person than I am tidy, if that makes sense. Like, I can have things out and it doesn't bother me a ton. Uncleanliness and unhygienic shit, I can't do stuff like that. But when it comes to like keeping spaces tidy, it is something I find really difficult. But at the same time, I do also find it really difficult being in my room, like even sleeping in my room when there's mess in there. I do find it it feels like there's a dark cloud over you. I don't know how to describe it. Even though I'm not like the tidiest person in the world, it still does definitely bother me. But yeah, I didn't film anything yesterday. Saturday was such a nice day. I had the best day with my sister. They went to go watch The Great Gatsby. We got Thai food afterwards. We obviously got the vanilla pudding, which you've already seen, so I won't harp on about it again, but it was really good. Well, banana pudding, but from vanilla. I'm very wary of like TikTok viral stuff because sometimes it's just shit, but that's probably one of like the best TikTok recommendations I've seen. Great Gatsby, I really liked it. I had not seen the film, I think I mentioned that. Started watching the film last night with Twinkle Toes, but I think I feel like my theory on this stuff, it's whatever you see first is what you enjoy. If you read a book first, you'll enjoy the book. If you watch the film first, you'll prefer the film. If you watch the musical first, you'll prefer the musical. Because I was watching the film and I was like, I feel like I prefer the musical version. I don't hate the film, but it's also, I don't know, I prefer the musical. But then I came online and looked it up and realised like a lot of people hate The Great Gatsby musical, but I feel like that, from what I've seen, it seems to be people that are big into the book. I really enjoyed it, honestly. I would say go and watch it, but by the time this vlog goes up, it's actually done in London. It's finishing on Saturday, I believe. Pretty sure it's still on in America, but finishing this week, so apologies because that's really annoying because I can't even tell you to go and watch it. But it was so funny as well seeing Corbin Blue in real life. I was like, because we went to a matinee show, and sometimes, not always, but I feel like sometimes with a matinee show, I've been to more matinees where it's not been like the standard cast than I've been to matinees where it's been the standard cast, if that makes sense. So like no one was an understudy, we had the entire cast, and it was so good. It was so weird seeing Corbin Blue, let me call him Corbin Blue and not Chad from High School Musical, because apparently he doesn't like that. I was reading comments on TikTok and apparently he doesn't like, which I do understand because obviously he's gone on to do some, oh my god, there's bird shit all over the back of my car. Oh my god, there's bird shit all over the back of my car. Not me yapping away being like, yeah guys, there's bird shit all over the back of my car. Guys, can you see that? So embarrassing.
There is nothing more embarrassing than having bird shit on your car, and I can't explain it. Anyway, as I was saying, obviously he's gone on to do so many like amazing musical things and other things, and I can understand why, if that's all anyone talks about, you might find it quite frustrating. Want to talk to you about that and not the current thing you're doing. It could probably grate on you after a while. But he was amazing. The guy playing Gatsby, Jamie Moscato, wow, what a man, what a man. I would say him and Billy Nevers, top two like male voices I have seen for a musical. Their voices are insane. Oh my god, there's a spider. There's a massive spider on my windscreen. What is going on today, guys? It really is September 1st. What the hell? That's that. So I've updated you all. I did try to film as much as I could whilst we were in London, but obviously, like I said, my sister is pregnant, and I just feel like me and my sister don't do like stuff like that all the time, where we go on like a little excursion day. And I feel like, I don't know how to describe this without it sounding like I'm saying it wrong. Obviously, when she's had a baby, she's still her, and she can still go and do things without the baby, and we will still go and do things without the baby. And I'm so excited for that baby to be here. Like, her mind might, especially for like the first few years, if she is away from the baby, I know that some people really struggle with it, so her mind might not fully be there. So I think it was just nice to make sure we were like fully in the moment and enjoying each other's company, because it's probably one of like the last dates like that where like we go somewhere and we go and do something that we'll have before the little girl arrives. So yeah, I just wanted to make the most of it. I hope that doesn't sound weird what I'm saying, because I really don't want to feed into this narrative that like once you have a baby your life's over and it's never the same again, but like, because obviously your life is not over, but in a way it's probably not going to be the same again. Everything will be a bit different, I don't know. So I wanted to make sure that we just enjoyed each other's company, and we really did. We had such a nice day. It's probably one of my favourite days I've had in a while. I just love spending time with my sister. I remember when I did my sister's wedding speech at her wedding last year, and someone at the wedding, obviously I won't name who because that's weird, someone at the wedding did come up to me afterwards and they were like, oh, like I wish I'd had that sort of sibling relationship, like you should be, you know, really cherish it sort of thing. And I think I forget sometimes that not everyone is super close with their siblings, and I'm very, very, very lucky that me and my sister are very close. Like, we are really close. She is basically my built-in best friend since I was born. So yeah, it was nice to have a little trio day out with the unborn little one. Very, very, very excited, by the way. I don't want it to sound like I'm not excited for the baby to be here. Trust me, I am. And I can't wait for her to join us on our London excursions. But obviously, that's not going to be for a little while, because you can't really take a baby into a theatre. And I'm going to a different gym, so I'm not going to film it. But I'm going to go and get my quads and glutes sessions done, one of them. I'm going to go to a different gym today, just because I am feeling a little bit like, ugh, and a little bit low energy. And the schools have gone back today, so there's going to be worse traffic on the way there and on the way back. So I'm actually going to go to a gym that's closer to me to avoid that, to remove those barriers. Because as much as I was all, if you watch my last What I Ate in a Day, I was like, yeah, I'm just so excited, that has now drifted significantly. And it's not that I don't want to go to the gym, I just don't have the like, woo, let's go, that I had last week. So I'm removing barriers where possible and going to a little bit of a closer gym to make that easier, you know. It's like disgustingly greasy, so don't mind it. I had it like slicked back earlier, but it was genuinely pulling on my head, so I was like, I'm gonna have to take this out. I've just got back from the gym. Oh god, my legs are killing me. I trained in a different gym, and I prefer my own gym. I know that obviously I did it because it's easier, because it's closer, but that gym, there's just something about it that makes me feel really sick. And I know that sounds dramatic, but I just feel like there's something in the air in there, like very sticky in there, and it makes me feel really sick. And now I've come home and I've just made quick little bite to eat. So I've got salmon, rice and mange too. The salmon is done in soy, garlic and ginger. So I'm going to eat this. I've got some client messages that have come through this morning that I need to reply to, and then I think I'm going to go wash my car and get the bird poo off it, and then go and get my steps in, even though it's so great outside today. Steps is so much harder when the weather's shit. And I've got my walking pad, but honestly I don't want to start wheeling that out unnecessarily until the weather is really bad and the evenings are really dark, because I know that point is coming, okay? And that point is coming soon. I want to make the most of being able to get my steps in outdoors, because me personally, as soon as it's like dark on an evening, if I need to get my steps in, I'm not going to be able to do them outside.
Okay, we have a couple errands to run.
An hour later, because it started pissing it down as soon as I finished my dinner. So I watched the Love is Blind reunion, which shocked all the people that I thought would not stay together, did not stay together. People that I was shocked got married did not stay together, which I feel like, yeah, that kind of tracks. But I'm also glad that they didn't stay together and they've not just like carried it on for the sake of like a show and like having a success story, which I feel like some people would. So yeah, I was waiting for it to stop raining, watched that whilst doing my accounts and some client work, and now it's time to get rid of this. I'm gonna clean my car, grab a little mini coffee, just a small one, go hit my steps and go to the post office. So yeah, it's car wash time. This is where I come to do it. I come to the Morrison's jet wash. I love doing it myself when I'm using this. If I'm at home, don't love. But if I'm by myself, I actually really like using the Morrison's jet wash. The only reason why I don't like doing it myself if I'm at home is because obviously I don't have like a high pressure hose. You get to use a brush instead of a sponge, so it feels easier. £2 for 3 minutes, I think. Yes, £2 for 3 minutes. So if anyone used to play Pippa's Funnel on Nintendo, like the horse thing, like getting the crap out of the horse's hooves, that's what this reminds me of, but a real life version, and it's getting the shit off my car. So yes, let's clean the car. It's the poop is gone.
What can I get for you?
Hi, can I just get a small latte with oat milk, please?
We can't do oat milk at the moment, unfortunately. We've only got coconut.
Oh, okay, it doesn't matter then.
Sorry
I'll just
about
leave
that.
it. No, it's okay. Thank you for letting me know. Okay, well that was a flop because they had no oat milk, as I'm sure you heard. They only had coconut. I don't really like coconut. I don't dislike it, but I can't think of anything worse than a coconut coffee. Now, and we're gonna go get some steps in. It looks like it's about to tee it down, but I'm just gonna set off and I'm just gonna keep walking because we need to get the steps in. And don't do it now. I'm not going to do it, but I am going to leave my camera in my car today because, to be honest, I feel like I've shown you guys the canal so many times. I'm not sure you need to see it again. I feel like my skin looks really weird today. I'm going to leave my camera in my car though because I feel like it is going to... it's raining already. I can hear it on my car, but I feel like you don't need the camera. You don't need to see the canal. You've seen it a million times in recent vlogs, so let's go do these steps. You would not believe me if I told you I was going to the gym. But I'm not going to the gym first this morning. So this morning my mum and dad are going to London for 3 days. So I'm dropping them off at the train station, and then I do actually need shampoo and conditioner because I'm running low, and I was about to order it online, but I'm trying to save money, and it dawned on me at the hairdressers I go to, you get points, and I'm pretty sure I've got like thousands of points to the point where I can probably actually get my shampoo and conditioner for free, and they definitely sell the one that I like using. So I'm just going to go into town because my gym is like 5 minutes from Leeds City Centre, so I'm just going to go into town and get my shampoo and conditioner there. I was literally about to check out and look fantastic, and then I was like, wait a minute, why am I doing this? I don't need to do this. Put on a little bit of makeup and a little bit of an outfit, but I've packed my gym bag. I'm going to try and film my session today. I'm doing upper and cardio, but I've not filmed an upper body session in ages. I'm actually going to try and film it for you. I'll film what I can of it anyway. Yeah, this is my little outfit. I just thought, why not actually properly get dressed? Plus I really wanted to wear this top, so I did end up buying the Reformation top that I tried on Saturday. I think I showed you guys it with the brown skirt. Didn't get the brown skirt, but I did get the top, and I'm so glad I did get it because I feel like it's so cute. I want to wear my brown suede bag, but I'm actually having an issue with it, which is the dye from the suede. When I wear light tops, the colour from the dye of the suede is actually coming off onto my clothes, and it's not damaging the bag, but it is damaging my clothes, and this was quite expensive of a top, so I don't want to ruin it. But with that being said, has anyone tried, like, because you know you can get like suede protectors for bags, like the sprays, if I spray that on, will it work the other way around and stop the dye rubbing off on my clothes? Someone please let me know, because I don't want to just do it and then ruin what is a very expensive bag. So I'm not going to use that bag, I'm just going to use my Prada one instead. I've just got on my Zara wide leg jeans, but yeah, I don't know, I just feel like this silhouette is very
different, but it's also such a good top for this time of year because it's like a very light knit, so it's not too hot. But today, because I've already been out this morning, I've been doing some client check-ins, went out to get myself a coffee this morning, and it's the most September day. I feel like it's such a nice crisp weather outside, like it's sunny but it's got like a bite to the air, and it's honestly a really nice day. And I just feel like this sort of stuff perfect for that time of year because it is still a little bit warm, so I don't want like a full-blown jumper, but it's like a nice light knit. Let's go. Okay guys, I have just finished in town. Been really good. I was very tempted to start going around all the shops, and I did go in a few to get some steps in, but I didn't start picking up things and buying things. I literally got exactly what I went for, and I had £25 worth of points to use, so I was able to get my stuff for a lot cheaper. The conditioner was meant to be £36, the shampoo was meant to be £30. Not actually part of the same range, so I got the Gloss Absolute shampoo, but they didn't have a conditioner for this one, so I got the Genesis conditioner because I did actually have the Genesis shampoo before. I have actually not picked up what I had last time, but I know that generally I do really like Kerastase products. They're just really expensive, and that's literally it. So this is a reminder, if you have points somewhere, even if it means like going in person to drive somewhere, it might be worth going. Also a reminder, if you're in the Leeds area, you should start going to Allerton's to get your hair done because you collect points as you go, and then you can use it on product, and they've even got perfumes and stuff in there. I don't know if they do them anymore, but they used to do the Tamine, THAMENN perfumes in there. So, and they have like all the Kerastase hair care. Now I'm gonna go to the gym. I did also pick up a little small ice latte as my pre-workout. I really need to order a pre-workout, to be honest, because I still don't have one. I think I will actually order a pre-workout today, but I'm gonna go to the gym. I feel really awkward walking in like this. What on earth? Because I never walk into the gym in normal clothes because I'm very fortunate. I never need to, like, I'm never going from work, and if I am going from work, I'm just in normal stuff because I don't have a normal job. So yeah, I've got my own boots on as well. But yeah, I am going to try and film the session because it's an upper session, and I've not filmed one of those in ages because I've not been training upper body. You can all laugh at how weak I am. It's done that. It's not really giving nice because of the skyline, but such like a nice crisp day. I love it.
Guys, don't panic, there's nothing wrong with me, but yes, I am training upper body today. Crazy times. We've not seen this in a while. So I'm currently doing upper body once a week, nothing crazy, just because I don't want to train it religiously. Like, to say, guys, I mean, you can be the judge of this, but I feel like to say I do not train upper body basically I haven't trained upper body at all in a good solid couple of months now. The shape, when you see me do my tricep extensions in a second, you are gonna gasp at the muscle that I have, but I think it's just from years of training. So personally, I don't feel the need to be hitting upper body twice a week. So I'm starting off with some single arm lat pull downs, using the bench for a bit more support and a bit more stability. I used to do these kneeling, and I do like doing them kneeling, but if you use the bench, you'll just find you're a lot more stable in the movement. You can use the bench to support you, and you're probably actually going to be able to lift heavier as a result of that. And I also do find that like mind muscle connection when I'm doing it like this, probably because I'm not having to think about my balance at all and I'm just very stable in the movement, is a lot better when I'm doing these as opposed to when I was doing them kneeling. So I'm really enjoying doing this movement. And I get a really good lat connection when I do these. So this is the first movement. Then moving on to some single arm tricep extensions. I did one arm, then I did the other. But guys, like, look, when I press down here, can you see the tricep? I feel like my arms look so jacked for someone that doesn't train upper body. But basically here, what you want to think about is basically using your tricep to push that weight down and getting a nice full extension at the bottom. Don't stop with like your elbow not locked out or like partially doing the reps. You want to make sure that you're getting a nice full range of motion and thinking about pushing that handle, pushing that whatever it is that you are using down and like back slightly so that you get a full extension on your tricep. Then moving on, I did some narrow grip rows. I actually don't love this cable stack in my gym for this because I don't know if you guys can see, but because of the way it's set up, I can't row like directly. I have to sort of almost row upwards, if that makes sense, which I don't love. I feel like I need to technically be lower. Like the bench would need to be lower in order for me to be able to just do a straight narrow grip row, whereas at the moment it's almost like a row slash, it can feel a little bit shruggy, which I'm very wary of because I have very, 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 very overactive traps and I try not to engage them as much as possible. So I actually don't really love the setup for this. I think I'm going to use the machine next week when I do this. So moving on, I'm then just doing some dumbbell shoulder press. Every time I film shoulder presses, I am so shocked by how low down I bring the dumbbells, because I promise you when I'm pressing them in the mirror, it looks like I'm bringing them down to chin height and then coming back up. But every single time I film it, I'm like, oh my god, I'm bringing them all the way down. So you definitely don't need to bring them quite as far down as I am, but just making sure that when you press up, you keep a slight bend in your elbow. You don't want to be locking out your elbows at the top of the movement. Yeah, shoulder press is probably one of my favourite upper body movements, even though I rarely do it. But now, I promise guys, I am going to be doing my upper body sessions once a week as per my coach. And then guys, I changed some form of setting on my camera here, so it looks like I'm doing them in slow motion, but I promise I'm not. I finished off with some dumbbell lateral raises. I like doing these seated just because I find that when I'm seated again, I'm more stable, and I just find that I do a lot less like shrugging. There's no way that I can like bounce or like push through my feet or like almost like jump the way up, because I'm just more stable in the movement. I do find that when I do them seated, I can lift a lot less, but I just feel like I get less trap engagement. I feel like I'm actually really connecting with my delts when I do them like this. And I also just feel like I'm using less momentum and I'm really using the actual target muscle rather than jumping around, shrugging around, trying to sort of like jump, like I said, to get the weights up. So I definitely do like doing these seated. So I finished off my session with these, and then it was time to do a little bit of core work, which this core circuit is brutal, like absolutely brutal. So I'm doing 45 seconds on each, 15-second rest between, and then I'm doing it for 3 rounds. So I'm doing leg raises first of all. Any ab work, you want to make sure that you're trying to keep your back pinned to the floor. So when you get into like a lying position, think about, instead of, I feel like as women it's very common to sort of like, you stick your shoulder blades to the mat and your bum, and then you have a massive curve through your sort of lower back and core area. In order to make sure you're properly engaging your core, I want you to think about like sucking your spine into the floor, sucking your spine into the mat, and trying to keep it as stuck to the mat as possible. Now, some people will always have a slight curve, but that is what you really need to be doing. And no, it's not the most flattering in terms of like when it comes to filming your workouts. Like, it might not be the most flattering look from the side, it might not make you look the skinniest, but it is going to engage your core the best. If you're really wanting to work on your core, I would highly recommend that you do that. So now I'm just doing some bicycle crunches, nothing super fast. I'm doing them super slow and controlled, making sure I'm bringing that elbow right over to that knee just to work on my obliques a little bit. Again, this after leg raises is absolutely brutal. And then taking a quick breather before going into the final movement in this core workout, which is actually my favorite movement of the entire core workout. So I basically bring my knees up to like a 90-degree angle like so, and then I'm using a medicine ball to basically crunch up, and it's almost like I'm placing the ball on top of my shins basically. I find that this just feels like it's really, really, really working my core. I feel like having my legs elevated, I feel like I'm using a lot of stability in my core, but then obviously I've got like the actual movement of doing the crunch. I don't know guys, this is probably one of my favorite core movements to do at the moment. I actually look forward to getting through all the rest of the stuff in my circuit so that I can get to this, because I enjoy doing it that much. But again, you can see how when I'm coming down, trying not to put like that excessive curve through my spine, I'm trying to keep my core nice and tight, nice and spine sucked into the floor, making sure that you're actually properly engaging your core. Because if you're not engaging your core, it's going to be a lot of momentum, and also a lot of your hip flexors doing the work, especially with things like the leg raises, for example. And that is it.
Not a check-in where I like to focus too much on physical progress because it's only been 1.5 weeks. In that, so much pressure on that during a first check-in is just setting people up for failure and unrealistic expectations. Habits, how are we actually sinking into the routine? You are not going to get stronger if you are not resting adequately between your sets. Weekly averages, same for your calories, weekly averages are really everything.
Morning, we're up. Adam, I've not had any breakfast or anything this morning. I'm just going straight to the gym because I've got an hour's cardio left to do. And I've got quite a lot to do between today and tomorrow, so I'm just going to go and get that hour in, done and dusted. I'm not going to do the stairs because I feel like, I know that it's just cardio, but I do feel like it does impact on your recovery, even though it's not like HIIT or anything like that. Especially when you're doing it for that long, it really does impact my recovery with legs. And I've been finding that with it being a new program and my body's sort of like not used to the movements, I'm getting a lot more soreness anyway. So I'm trying to like balance my cardio with my recovery, and obviously I didn't finish all my cardio last week, so I literally rolled out of bed, shoved a tracksuit on, and we're just going to go and get it done because I feel like sometimes my issue with getting to the gym is I convince myself that I need to put on a really nice outfit, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. Properly get ready, do something that I like with my hair, put makeup on. Realistically, I don't need to do any of that, and on the days where I really can't be arsed, convincing myself that's part of the getting ready process for the gym that I have to go through makes me skip sessions, if that makes sense. Especially when I'm going to do cardio, like I'm literally just going to sweat. It feels so pointless to me, so we're gonna go and get this cardio in together. I think today will probably be the last day of this vlog, but I've got a couple, well, I'm gonna start editing this vlog today, but I also really want to reorganize my perfume collection today because that is one thing as well. I feel like I've probably given like a few tips about like the seasonal saddies. Maybe I'll just talk about that a bit more today actually. We'll talk about that a little bit more, give you some tips because I struggle bad with it, and seeing everyone, I mentioned it the other day, but seeing everyone with that, oh my god, winter, like the cold seasons are here. I'm like, I'm glad you guys are excited because I sure am not. But there are little things that I can do, and one of the things I do like about this time of year is scent. The scents that like are more appropriate for this time of year are so cozy. So I want to do a little bit of a reorganizing, and I also just need to clean those shelves anyway. Reorganizing of my perfume collection. So I'm gonna do that today and put like the ones that I might actually be reaching for more during the winter closer to the front. I'm not doing the whole like making myself a tray for these seasons. I'm not going to do that as my SD card cut out. And at the same time, I won't do it like in depth, but I'll give you like a speed run, like a sentence for each perfume that I have to give you guys an updated perfume collection. I know that people want a standalone video on that, but I'm just so scared to do it because I feel like no one's going to watch it. So I'm going to pop it in here and do like a speed run. Let's go! That workout. She was rough. Okay, she was rough. Really a difficult. Have I shaved my armpits? Yeah, I have. Just checking. It's actually a really difficult cardio session. I thought it'd be easier because I just did incline treadmill instead of doing stairs. But it felt like it was never going to end, but I closed off the full 60 minutes. Also, another thing, because I feel like sometimes if you don't have like fitness trackers and stuff, people do read quite a lot into what it says for like calories burned. The treadmill said I'd burnt like 670 calories by the end of that. My Aura ring says 300. So always take calories burnt with a pinch of salt because I feel like the machines overestimate it, especially when it comes to the treadmill. I've got a lot of steps to get in. Really shit yesterday because basically I found out, oh god, it's just started raining. I thought I was going to have nice weather for steps today. Basically yesterday was just a little bit of a write-off. That's why I didn't end up vlogging. Last night I was just with my sister and my friends. Yesterday got the very sad news. I'm talking about him like he's dead. He's not dead, he just quit. But my manager at Alphalete has quit, and I'm really bummed out about it because we had such a good relationship. He's probably the person that I'm closest to. I really liked working with him. I felt like he actually really took the time and made the effort to get to know us and to like build up a relationship with all of us. So for him to be gone, I kind of feel like my main like relationship in the company is now also gone. And I'm just so sad about it because he was such a good manager. Like he really tried his best for us. Like any complaints, any issues, he would always try his best. But obviously like there's only so much you can do. Like if they don't want to implement certain things or don't want to do certain things. I'm just really bummed out about it. Like they've lost a really good employee in that man because he was, I feel like it's a loss for you guys as well because whenever you'd come to me with like you're having an issue with customer service or you've had an issue with like you've won a voucher and the voucher's not been sent over, that literally happened this week. Always Christian Sanchez that I was going to get these things over to you guys. So for him to now be gone, I'm like
really good. Yeah, that's also why I didn't vlog yesterday, because I'm not gonna lie, when he texted me like 1-to-1 to let me know before like the email went out saying that he'd left. I was crying, like I was so sad. Gonna have a better day today, so let's go home. I'm gonna make some breakfast and I need to charge you guys actually, so I'll probably actually charge you up and then I'll see you when I'm ready for the day, I guess. She said hello to the vlog. Oh, I'm looking after you this week, aren't I, Fudgy? I've been looking after Fudge this week, guys, whilst Mum and Dad are in London. We're having fun, aren't we? To sweep up, he's done this morning. Oh, come here, my gorgeous little bunny. Oh, aren't you just a gorgeous bunny? I think you might be the most gorgeous boy ever in the land. We love you, Fudgy. We love you. Oh. The girl from Whoville, but it's time to sort out my perfume. It's looking a mess. Okay, so please don't judge. It needs dusting as well, okay? Again, don't judge. This is the purpose of me doing this. This is how the top shelf is looking. It's a fucking mess. It's a mess. This might not look messy to some people. To me, it's incredibly, incredibly messy. Second shelf, which is like mini perfumes and also like, yeah, just, it's a little bit of a mess. These are all samples, to be honest. So I'm gonna leave this because I'm not going through my samples, like I don't need to do that. But I'm going to do these 2 shelves. So I'm going to take everything off, and one by one, as we take everything off, I will... In fact, actually, I'll just bring them all, because the lighting over here is ass. Bring them over here. Oh my God, when you pull off all the perfumes, you really realise you might have a few too many. Okay. Let's get into it. I'm going to go through like my winter ones that I want to put near the front first. One of my top winter scents, Jo Malone Myrrh and Tonka. It's quite masculine leaning. It's very like woody, oody almost, but it is such a good Christmas scent. To me, this smells like Christmas in a bottle. Cozy scent. I wear it every Christmas. That is the only time of year I really use it. Anicio, this is Side Effect, yes. To me, it's like an incensey, cherryish, almost smelling scent, but sometimes I do find the incense in this a bit too much, like depending on the day. Honestly, it changes every time I wear it. So sometimes I will like to pair it with something a little bit sweeter. This is gonna sound so weird. I do not like Lush Sticky Date. Don't hate it, but I also really don't love it. To me, it just smells like a straight up candle. Very sickly sweet in my opinion. However, I do like layering it with things like this. It really just brings out the sweeter notes in this. Like I know that cherry isn't listed as a note, but I do get cherry from this. However, this was something I did a lot last autumn sort of winter season, so I will definitely be using this as a combo again. Bottle is ghastly, so I'm not going to put it near the front, but I'll probably leave it out on the top as a mixer. I feel like honestly, even with Myrrh and Tonka, it could give it like a sweetness. Definitely not one of my favourites, and once it's gone, I'm not going to be repurchasing it. One of my favourite Holder Mum scents, this is Mancera's Amore Cafe. This smells like, it's like if you poured like a really rich like creamy whiskey over like a caramel ice cream. That is what this smells like. This is pretty much everything I've wanted any of like the viral vanilla perfumes that I've tried to be. It has pretty decent projection and longevity on me as well, and I get a lot of compliments when I wear this. Top 5 for the winter season, so that's definitely going near the front. God, I'm very vanilla-y when it gets to this time of year. I'm not usually a massive vanilla person, but I feel like this time of year it favours vanilla sort of scent. So this is the Oakcha That Girl Paul Reacts Viral Vanilla. It's kind of similar to Bianco Latte, but this has like a little bit more of like a cinnamon hint to it in my opinion. It kind of reminds me of if Killian's Angel Share had a baby with Bianco Latte. I do really like it. I have probably got about half of the bottle left. I don't think I can smell it through the day much on me, but I do get a lot of compliments on it, so maybe I just go like nose blind to it. Through the day I can't really smell that it's lasted that well on me. I feel like it would probably be illegal for me to talk about that one without then talking about Eclair. This to me, I know that some people don't get it. For me, this smells the exact same as Bianco Latte. The only thing I don't like about this is this fucking bottle. It's hideous. Caramel scent. It does, but I find it with Bianco Latte, they both smell very plasticky when you first spray them, but the dry down, it's like a true caramel sort of scent. Layers really nicely, like for example this with Initio would actually be really nice to sweeten it up a little bit. I use it more as a layering perfume than I do on its own. It's a really, really, really good dupe. It smells the same. I then have 2 Fleur Vanilla Skin perfumes. I also have the body mist, but that stays in my gym bag. This is my favourite scent from Fleur. I absolutely love this scent, and I love it year round, don't get me wrong, but I feel like at this time of year, it's such like a cozy, it's like a woody vanilla scent. So it's not like the other ones I've just spoken about. It has like a peppery spiciness to it, which some people think smells like curry, so it's definitely not for everyone. And just because you like vanilla, it doesn't mean you'll like it. If you don't want cupcake vibes, this is one of the nicest vanillas in my... Only thing I would say is I wouldn't bother with the perfume. Obviously I've got 2 minis here. I wouldn't bother with the perfume. Get the body mist. The perfume doesn't give you any extra strength or any extra longevity, so for the sake of cost, just get the body mist. Fleur Vanilla Skin, she's like, I feel like I've put so many people onto it as well. Fleur, if you want to stock me up on some vanilla skin, I am so open to that. We have a strong community over here of vanilla skin lovers. We will buy it. Okay, I then have Vanilla Smoke, which smells like Replicas by the Fireplace, but in a much smokier way in my opinion. I actually don't really love this. I find it to be too smoky for me. So I am actually going to give some of this stuff away, but I'll just put it all in one package. So this is going to be one of the scents that I do give away because I'm just not going to use it. I don't love it. This would be a good winter scent if you did like it. It's just not for me. Next, we've got Delina exclusive. She's a year rounder. I probably have 3 squirts left in this bottle. My god, has it lasted me a long time, and this was my signature scent for like a year. So she's lasted a very, very, very long time. I wear this year round, but I do find in winter this just hits a bit different. Oody, rosy sort of scent with like a sweetness to it. I don't like floral scents that smell like a straight up bunch of flowers. This, however, changed my mind because I just thought I don't like any floral scent, and rose I would be like, ew. This introduced me to the fact I do like rose. It depends how it's done and what it's blended with, and this is not a straight up rose scent in my opinion. It's so much more interesting. The longevity and projection on this is insane. I get so many compliments when I wear this. Great year round, but I feel like in winter it just hits a bit different. It's like a really sexy girly scent basically. Baccarat Rouge, this is just a classic for me. I know that some people don't like it. Some people say, oh, it's everywhere, it's like it's washed, it's so overdone and blah 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 blah. I feel like because everyone is on that train now, no one wears it anymore. And when I wear this, for the amount of people that say they hate this scent, it's not adding up for the amount of compliments that I get when I wear it. Do we not like the scent, or are we just trying to be contrarian? And I know that some people genuinely don't like it and it smells like a dentist's office to them. Basically a very ambery, woody scent. And I love it year round, but I do feel like this goes much better during those colder winter months. So some people say she's washed, I say she's popular for a reason. Everyone wanted to make a dupe of her for a reason. Don't be a hater. So she's going towards the front. Matier Premier Vanilla Powder. For me, I feel like this is more of a summer scent. Because of the musk, it can definitely carry its way into autumn, winter. In terms of the musk to Herba Pura, this is just more of like a tropical leaning version. This is more straight up coconut leaning version. When I first smelt this, I was this perfume's biggest hater. I thought it smelled like old people in leather couches. And then I tried it on my skin a couple months ago in Manchester and I was like, no, this is so embarrassing because why do I like it this time? I really like it after being its biggest hater. This is like the biggest 180 I've probably ever done on a scent. Whilst I'm talking about that, I would say, again, it's kind of more of a summery scent, but because it's so strong, date nights in the winter, she's perfect, guys. She's perfect. So this is Xerjoff's Herba Pura. Basically like musky tropical fruits. It's very strong. One of my most complimented scents. This is probably also one of the strongest scents I own. I'm talking, you wash things and they come out still smelling slightly like Herba Pura. It's a very, very, very strong scent. If you don't like strong scents, you're gonna hate it. One of my favourites. I would probably put it in my top 5 perfumes ever. If you want a cheaper alternative, if you can find Zara Linen Musk, it is basically the exact same as Herba Pura. For a fraction of the cost, the longevity and projection isn't quite the same, but it's very, 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 very similar in scent. I can't really tell the difference between the two, other than this is slightly weaker, but it does still last a decent time. This is Glossier You Do. This basically smells like Glossier You and Santal 33 had a baby, and I absolutely love it. I think it's such a nice scent. It's very clean, but not in like a linen-y way. It's clean in more of like a woodsy way, and I really like it. I think this is probably one of my favourite You scents that Glossier has. Longevity and projection on it isn't great, but it's a fantastic like gym scent, everyday scent. I also have Fleur's Missing Person, which is very, very, very similar in terms of like the skin scent, but it actually reminds me the most of Byredo Byredo's Mojave Ghost, which I have in a hair perfume. These are so good if you like the Byredo scents but you don't want to splurge on the full bottle of perfume. These are £60, so they're still very expensive, a lot cheaper than the perfumes are, and I honestly find them really, really, really good. If you want a cheaper alternative of something similar to Mojave Ghost, Fleur Missing Person is a really good, not straight up dupe, but it's along the similar lines. This is more of like a warm, cozy skin scent. I love both of them. Mojave Ghost is one of my favourite scents from Byredo, and I do really like Fleur Missing Person as well. Next we have Valaya exclusive. She is a year-rounder in my opinion, but especially in the colder months I feel like it's going to be really, 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 really yummy. This is basically a clean, fresh, this is more of like your linen-y clean scent, but this one has got an almond note to it that the original one doesn't have, that makes it less sharp and a bit creamier. I much prefer it. It's not like the biggest difference. The OG one, oh my god, the headache that scent gives me, I can't do it. It gives me a headache, it makes me feel sick, and it's not because it smells bad, but there is something in that perfume that disturbs my brain and body. This one is just creamier, sexier in my opinion. It's got a little bit more something to it, a little bit more musky. I don't know how to describe it, and it also doesn't give me a headache or make me want to throw up. I think probably a top 5 perfume for me year round. Very big compliment getter. Okay, I feel like I've been talking for so long, so I'm going to speed run through the rest of them. This is one that I do want to give away. This is BDK Perfumes Tuberose Imperial. I've had this for ages and I did like it when I bought it, and then I've had it for like 2.5 years. I've just not reached for it at all. If you like tuberose, which is basically like a candy floss almost sort of scent, then you will really like it. But I'm going to pop this with Vanilla Smoke, so these will be two part of the giveaway that I'm gonna do. Tom Ford Soleil Brûlant. This has really been through the ringer. The packaging on this is absolutely diabolical. In general, I think Tom Ford scents are just so overrated. Like, they're not that great. This is a really, really, really nice one. It basically smells like a really rich, musky, super expensive sunscreen. Such a good summer scent. Really reminds me of holidays, and I really, really, really like this scent. And as far as Tom Ford goes, projection and longevity on this is pretty decent. I then have a couple more Fleur body mists. Amber Haze smells like Baccarat Rouge. Mango Mood smells like Herbal Essences shampoo, like a very like fruity light scent. And then I have Peach Skin, which has definitely been a close second fave to Vanilla Skin for me. The peach version of Vanilla Skin in my opinion. It's peachy, it's juicy, but it's got this like peppery spiciness to it, and it's in. And I find, like I do with Vanilla Skin, for a body mist, it's actually pretty decent in terms of the longevity, the strength with it. Byredo Young Rose. This smells like a fizzy rose lemonade. It's a very, very, very light scent. It's a really good clean scent. I put it on for like more like daytime if I'm running errands or something like that. That's what I will typically use this for. Longevity is poor, projection is poor, but I just really do enjoy the scent of this. M&S Mango Burst body care scented body mist. I got this for my birthday from one of my friends. It smells exactly like a juicy ripe mango. So whereas the Fleur Mango Mood smells a bit more like shampoo-y, this literally smells like a straight up juicy ripe mango. So, and very, very, very affordable. Obviously it's a body mist, so it's not going to last a crazy amount. Another one, I got this also for my birthday. It's from M&S. It's the After Sun Snooze. It smells like salty SPF and like a little bit fruity. Yeah, it does just smell like holidays. That's the only way I can describe it. Finery Without a Trace body mist. Basically this is a Fleur Missing Person dupe. Louis Vuitton Attrape Reeves. This is definitely more of a summery scent for me. This is like a right juicy, bright, floral, juicy scent. That is what this smells like. If you were to ask someone what a woman's perfume smells like, it's this. Incredible projection and longevity on me as well. Really, 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 really love this scent. And even though it doesn't scream winter, I will use it year round because I absolutely love. Lattafa Angham. This basically smells like Burberry Goddess. It's like a lavendery vanilla, but I would say it's not very vanilla-y. It's definitely more lavendery. I don't think the first word that people would use to describe this would be vanilla, so I do feel a little bit duped, but it's a very nice day-to-day scent. I wear it quite a bit for the gym. This one of my lovely friends gave to me. I think it's called Jude by Ahmed, and this is like a fruity, girly, oody scent, and it's honestly, I've never seen anyone post about this ever, but it smells really, really, really nice. It's like a fruity, feminine take on an oud scent, much easier to wear than some oud scent. Byredo Mumbai Noise. This one smells pretty like aftershavey and incensey to me. I did get it in an advent calendar. Definitely doesn't smell bad, but it's not a very me scent, so I'm also going to put this in the giveaway. French Cashmere Vanilla basically smells like a woody vanilla scent, but it has like a hint of like guinea pig, like sawdust shavings in there as well. I don't love it, I don't hate it, but it's also not my favourite thing in the world. I definitely prefer vanilla skin for these sort of vanilla body mists. We have Melina Castle, I'm not sure the brand, peachy apricot-y sort of scent. I do like it, but I find it a bit soapy for my preference. I don't actually use it a ton, so I'm also going to put this in the giveaway pile because I'm just not getting my use out of her at all. I've got Taskine Lactea Divina. This is a dupe of Blanche Bet, and it smells the exact same. It's like a very nutty, it basically smells like a nutty, creamy glass of milk. I then have two Kayali's. I've got Vanilla Candy Rock Sugar, which is a very sweet, very sweet, very girly. I mean, it smells like sugared candy. And then I've got Vanilla Oud by Kayali, which is vanilla and oud. It smells really nice. It's got like a gorgeous smokiness to it, and I love how diddy these bottles are. I think they're so cute. Zara Rose Gourmand. It's like a rosy, oudy sort of scent. I am nearly out of this, so I'm not going to bother giving it away. I don't use it a ton anymore, but this used to be like my go-to scent. I wore it every day, gets a lot of compliments, smells a lot more expensive than it is. Jo Malone Wood Sage and Sea Salt, but this is the body mist and it's got like hyaluronic acid in, so it gives you like a bit of a moisturizer at the same time. The most gorgeous, woody, salty, fresh scent. I love it. Clearly, I use it a lot, especially in the summer. Great for layering, great for holidays. One of the best clean scents that's not going to give you a headache. It's not too strong, it's not cloying, just smells clean. And then I have Kai's Perfumes Delicia Marshmallow. This is a very sweet, basically it smells like straight up marshmallow. That is what this smells like. It's very nice. It's a little bit too sweet for my preference, but I use it for layering purposes. But if you like a really sweet scent, like if you like Sticky Date, want a marshmallow version, you'll probably really like this. A little mini sample of MFK's 724 scent. Smells like straight up fresh laundry. Such a rich woman scent. Very strong. I would put it up there with like Valaya in terms of the strength. Never see anyone talking about it though. Very nice clean scent. Probably wouldn't go as far as to buy a full bottle. But if you want like a fresh laundry sort of scent, that is this. Molecules 01 smells like a gin and tonic sort of scent to me. That's what this smells like. It also smells very similar to DS and Durga's I Don't Know What, which is another favourite of mine, but I don't have it right now. That and this smells like gin and tonic. It's like a woodsy alcoholic scent. So good, and such a strong compliment getter. DS and Durga I Don't Know What gets me so many compliments, and it's such a non-offensive scent in my opinion. I then have two more Zara perfumes. This one is Stella Amber, which smells a little bit like Guidance from Amouage, and I also have Amber Fever. They're kind of like nutty sort of sweet scents, but I don't use them a ton, so I'm also going to put these in the giveaway pile because they're pretty much nearly full. I then have, oh my god, these are so good, the perfume oils from And Other Stories. I have Miami Muse, which is basically like a very fresh fruity scent. It smells like shampoo. It smells like basically straight up shampoo. It smells so clean and fresh. And then I have Deja Vu Mood, which basically smells like a fruitier version of Baccarat Rouge, and it's really nice to layer with it. I might actually wear this today. I think I'm going to do this today with Baccarat for my scent. And Your Lips, I got this in a, I can't pronounce that brand. I got it in the advent calendar last year. This smells really nice as well, and this is a strong compliment getter. It's like a juicy, musky, floral sort of scent. I really do like it. I probably wouldn't buy a full bottle because there are things that I prefer over it, but it's a very nice scent and it gets a lot of compliments. My sister wears this a lot, and every time she wears it, I'm like, what have you got on? And it's always this. Very good scent. I then have three of these wined perfumes, which I got from Space NK last year in a PR box, but I've just not got around to using them enough, so I won't bore you with the scent of these, but I am going to put them in the giveaway pile because I'm just not going to use them. Final two is some Montal minis. Intense Cafe. This smells like coffee and rose. It's very strong. If you are easily headache, don't bother with Montal. I feel like they specialise in making a strong scent. It doesn't matter whether it's good or bad, they're all just very strong. I do like how this smells, but I have to be careful when I wear it because it can give me a headache. And then I also have Sensual Instinct, which is a sort of ambery woody scent. It definitely reminds me of Baccarat. It's like Baccarat Rouge, but not the same. It's definitely not a dupe. It's sort of like its cousin. My perfume collection as of right now. So these are this is everything, just in case you missed.
This is everything that's in the giveaway. So we've got BDK Tuberose, Fleur Vanilla Smoke, Byredo Mumbai Noise, Melina Castle. We've got 2 Zara's, Amber Fever and Stella Amber. And then these 3 Wind scents. So I'm going to put these all in one package. Leave a comment below saying what your favourite scent is, I guess. And I will pick someone from the comments to win these in a little package. So hey guys, this is it all reorganised. There isn't really a rhyme or reason as to the orderings, other than I've tried to bring the ones that I want for winter closer to the front, and then this is the second shelf. I feel like this shelf looks a lot better now that I've sorted out and I can actually see what I have down here. But I've put like my smaller ones and my body mists and like my less perfume ones down here, and then all my actual like perfumes up here. So yeah, I took my fringe out and now I look like a boy. And my fringe needs recutting really bad.
I look like a real boy, Papa.
I might actually have to buck it in to get it cut.
I think it looks nice.
No, yeah, but that's because I've tucked these bits behind. They're getting a bit long.
It's Elvis Presley, the king of rock
no,
and roll.
No, babe, there's not wrong with your fringe. Yeah, wait until you see. But God, I feel like such a yummy mummy. Just put it all up to the top.
Sharing the kids on it. Soccer practice.
Soccer mom. But we're going to go to the White Rose. Any of my locals will know it's the place where dreams go to die.
It's so depressing there, isn't it?
It's really depressing. It's actually so depressing. But the reason why we're going is because, oh God, there's an M&S there and oh my God. There's an M&S there and I need to get some food because I'm running low. And I was going to go to the Marks and Spencer's, it's a little bit closer, but I was like, it's going to piss it down most of the day. And like I said earlier, I'd barely moved yesterday, so I really need to get more steps in so I can walk around the White Rose for a little bit, probably get a good dent in my steps, and then try and do the rest either outside or on the walking pad. But the thought of being on my walking pad for like 2 hours, I was like, no, I don't think I can actually. I just don't think I'm meant to live an uncomfortable life. So this is my solution. Enjoyed that perfume collection haul. The people have been requesting it for a while. It's not changed that much. I've got a few new perfumes, but I actually don't have that many since the last time I did it. But it felt good to have a clear out, although the toxic side of me is now saying, you've got rid of like 8 perfumes. We have room for 8 more, but that's not the point. That's not the point, and I must remind myself of that. But if you were curious, my wish list at the moment, I really want the Louboutin Fetiche La Rose. I just think, first of all, stunning scent. Second of all, so good for this time of year. I really want Byredo Alto Astral, but it's such a summery scent that I'm like, am I going to use it that much in winter? I don't know. If I am, you can obviously wear your perfumes at whatever time of year if you wish, but I just don't know if I'm going to use it that much. Anyway, we're going to White Rose. Okay, back from White Rose, I'm going to make a matcha because I feel like I really want a Mel's maple matcha with cinnamon and maple syrup, and I fear, as much as I do love making my white chocolate matcha, I fear it is my favourite type of matcha, and I feel like now that we're getting, you know, it's grey outside, miserable weather. Like I said earlier, I'm not a huge fan of this time of year. I was going to talk more about like seasonal struggles and things you can do to help like in depth in this video, but I realised I've actually been vlogging for a long time, so it's probably going to be too much. If you want me to talk about that in an upcoming vlog or like theme it around that and theme it around tips, let me know, because I definitely can. And I feel like if you are someone that struggles seasonally, it can be quite overwhelming when everyone is just posting content about like how much they love fall. And I'm not saying that that's like insensitive, because, you know, we're not that precious about these things, but it can just be a bit like, oh, like I want some tips, I want some helpful tips from someone that actually doesn't love this time of year. So let me know if you guys want that. I do like to lean into the coziness of this time of year. The fall fashion, like I said, why am I acting American? The autumn winter fashion, like I said, is personally probably where I thrive the most, next to like my beach vacation fits. I love candles and I love the coziness, like blankets and all that sort of stuff, and leaning into that. I'm sorry, but there just is certain stuff that works better at this time of year, and one of those things is the maple cinnamon matchas that I make. So I've just got some new matcha. It's still Genki again because this is my favourite matcha. If anyone has any other matcha recommendations, I'm all ears, as long as it's not Perfect Ted. No shade. I got the tin this time and not the baggies because I've not been having matcha as much as I was. This is how bright it should be, by the way.
I've not been having matcha as much as I was, so I felt like it was kind of deteriorating. So I actually ended up throwing my other Genki bag away because I felt like the brightness had gone, and the past few times I've used it, it has just been like a bit weird. And I read online that if you don't use it within like a month, it needs to be away from heat. I was keeping mine by the coffee machine, which warms up whilst it makes coffee. It needs to be away from light. I was keeping it by a window, so I think it would just made it deteriorate. Nothing more satisfying than a fresh matcha tin. So I thought before my parting gift to you guys for this vlog is going to be my maple cinnamon matcha recipe, because it is delicious. It tastes like a cinnamon roll and it's so fucking good. Maple syrup, cinnamon, milk, ice and matcha. That's all you're going to need. Let's do it! This is not actually my favourite kind of cup for a matcha. I feel like this is more coffee cup vibes, but my ribbed one, I feel like it honestly kind of needs to go because it just doesn't clean. The ice, one more, is the maple syrup that I'm going to be using. I got it from Marks and Spencer's, but you can use any. And you want about, I'm not going to use a weighing scale for this because I feel like it's going to really ruin the aesthetic vibes that we've got going on here. So I'm just going to guesstimate, but you want about 30 ml of this if you want to make it like a Mel's. I feel like that's probably about, actually to be fair, that might be more than 30. I think I put a little bit much in. Okay, next up we've got the oat milk, which is going to go in. So that's just going in next. We're basically making maple milk here. Cinnamon, this is going to go in next. This is a little bit of an awkward one because cinnamon is hydrophobic, is that the word? So it doesn't actually mix super well. Final little step. We're going to make the matcha. Usually I would actually like to do the matcha with the milk. If you know, you know. I've been talking about that lately. It makes it a bit creamier. But I'm actually out of milk now, so I can't use the milk because the milk is empty. So I'm using water, and when you're doing the water, if you know, you know, this is how much matcha I'm going to put in. You want to be using warm water, so not boiling hot. If you use boiling hot, it's basically going to burn the matcha and it makes it go really, really, really bitter. So if you're finding that when you're making your matchas, guys, they're going really bitter, that's probably why. Check the temperature of things that you're putting in, because I know that some people like to steam the milk that they use as well. Again, just check that it's not too hot because it will burn the matcha and it just makes it go really bitter. Whisk, 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 whisk. So then you just put the matcha on top. Oh my god. That's the sort of green your matcha should be, by the way. And then stir her around. Get it all mixed in, girl. I already know that it's going to be good, but it actually is so good. And because I was drinking this like sort of this time last year, that is what this reminds me of, and it's just so yummy. And I'm going to end the vlog here, but something that I want to leave you guys with is I've been scrolling on TikTok today and I've seen quite a few TikToks of people being like, what trainers are we wearing this fall? Like what? I've even seen people saying, what UGG colours are we wearing this fall? What trainer are we wearing this winter? What coat are we wearing this winter? And I feel like I would just like to, my parting gift is the matcha recipe, but also this, just because it's winter, it doesn't mean that you can't use the stuff that you used last winter. And I feel like the sheer volume of these videos I'm seeing, I'm just like, me personally, I'll be wearing the trainers I was wearing last winter. Me personally, I'll be wearing the UGG colour I was wearing last winter because I already own UGGs. Why am I going to go and buy new UGGs again? Also, if you are having to buy new shoes every single year, that may be a sign that the quality of the shoe that you are spending over £100 on maybe isn't that great. If you want new stuff and it brings you joy and you like getting new stuff every year and you can afford it and it's not a problem and you never feel influenced by this sort of stuff, that is fine. Or if you need new stuff, fine, I get it. I bought new stuff last winter, but I bought new stuff last winter, like a trench coat, for example, with the idea of like, I will probably keep that for until like it goes tatty or it breaks or something goes wrong with it. But yeah, I might see one I prefer in a few years, but I'm not going to be replacing it anytime soon. So if you are feeling a little bit like you need to go and spend all this money to like enjoy autumn, enjoy fall, enjoy winter, please know that you do not need to do that. The stuff that you wore last winter is highly likely going to be completely fine again. It can even just be fun to like try and wear things in different ways. Doesn't matter what shoe everyone is wearing this winter. It doesn't matter what colour UGG everyone is wearing this winter. You don't have to go and buy an entirely new shoe cupboard or an entirely new jacket wardrobe just because it's not winter 24 anymore and it's winter 25. And I get it, like sometimes there's a trend that you want to partake in. I'm down to partake in a trend from time to time too, but you don't need to redo things every single year, so please never feel you need to do that. I just wanted to say that because I've just made a TikTok about it and people seem to be responding quite well to it, so I thought I would share it on here as well. But yeah, from me and my little maple cinnamon matcha, it's au revoir. I hope you guys have an amazing Sunday. Any video requests, as always, please let me know. Give the video a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to and you haven't already. Leave a comment below if there's anything you want to comment on in this video. The likes and the comments do help me out a lot, so it would mean the world if you have enjoyed it, if you could engage. I will see you guys next week. It might be an Alpha Leak review next week actually. There's a launch coming up towards the end of September 23rd. So it might be an Alpha Leak review next week, but I will see you guys when I see you. Have an amazing Sunday. And for anyone who struggles with this time of year, my thoughts and prayers are very much with you because same.